Mr. Nick.
Hi, Yahya. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
That's
How are
good.
you?
Very well, thank you.
I'm talking on behalf of the students. Welcome to A-SSABILA school, and we're pleased to have you.
It's always a pleasure to be here, Yahya, so thank you very much for the invitation.
So, first of all, could you describe your role at Oxford University Press and your responsibilities?
Sure. So I am the area manager for North Africa, which means that I'm responsible for Oxford University Press activities in that region. I live here in Morocco, so I'm based here in Morocco. And obviously Morocco is the most important country in North Africa.
My next question is, how do you ensure that your resources are both engaging and academically rich?
Another really good question. And I think for them to be engaging, there's a couple of key things that we need to consider. Firstly, the topics need to be relevant to the students and they need to reflect how they use English in the real world outside the classroom. And we can see that in the choice of topics that are for different ages, and the way that the topics need to reflect that real world content.
In that regard, do you test your resources for feedback?
Yeah, what happens when a new book comes out is that there are very often pilot courses that are run all over the world.
How is technology and AI in particular influencing the future of educational publishing?
It's like with any sector, it's having a huge impact. And we still don't know yet what that impact is going to be. What we are seeing more of in courses is, for example, in many new courses, we're starting to see test generators, which is basically a way for a teacher to make exams based on the needs of the students, using AI tools to put those exams together.
What role do schools like Assabila School play in preparing students for international education?
I think that they play a huge role because if we want to think about preparing students for international education or just preparing students for their life after school, which is likely to involve a lot of international kind of contacts with people from all over the world, it's really important that we not only show students aspects of the world and teach them about the world that we live in, but also that we provide students with the skills that they're going to need. And those skills are not just academic skills, because the skills that we need to be successful in any walk of life are skills like working together, how to communicate in different ways, because the way that you communicate when you're talking to someone is different from when you communicate if you're giving a speech or if you're in a meeting, how to solve problems, how to think outside the box, how to use creative thinking and critical thinking to find solutions. So these are the skills that are really key, and these are skills that schools such as A-SSABILA is very good at providing for its students.
Yeah, indeed. You mentioned it earlier when you said it's not only about speaking English in classrooms, but also in the real world.
Yeah.
So basically making it more practical.
Yeah, exactly.
And finally, what advice could you give to students who are struggling to learn English?
There's lots of advice that you can give, and it depends on the specific problems that the students are having. One problem that students have is about confidence. And in order to boost students' confidence, some things are really important. It's really important that students practice, especially speaking, as much as possible. As I said before, most communication in English is between people who speak English as a second language or as a third language. And what I find, because I've lived in Morocco now for 15 years, and when I first arrived in Morocco, it was very unusual to hear Moroccan people speaking English to each other. But now, when I visit schools, I always ask students, what language do you use when you're speaking to each other? And more, the answer is, we use English. In addition to French, Darija, maybe Amazigh, but English is used more and more by Moroccans for communication. This means that they've got more opportunities to practice. So that's something really important. I think that teachers have a role as well in creating a comfortable classroom where students feel safe, where they feel valued, where they feel supported, where they feel able to make a mistake. And that's really important too, because making mistakes is part of the learning process. If we don't make mistakes, we can't learn.
Another question I have is, what's your plan with A-SSABILA school and where you want to take your relationship with them later?
Sure. I think that the partnership we have with the school is a really strong one, and I think that it's one that is really valued by both Oxford University Press and by the school as well. So we work a lot with the teachers at the school in providing training, which not just gives the teachers some new ideas about what they can use in the classroom, but also helps teachers to reflect on their own, on what they do in the classroom and how we can best help the students at the school. So our training includes workshops for teachers, but it also includes visiting classes and doing observations of the teachers, which is really useful for them to kind of evaluate what they're doing in the classroom. Obviously, the school is using our resources, which, as we've spoken about, is of huge benefit to the students and to the teachers as well. And we're speaking today on the day that we're visiting the school English show, which is an opportunity for the students to kind of show off and showcase the English that they've studied in class. And so that shows the parents as well how their students have improved, how their children, have improved in their English.
Thank you, Mr. Nick. That's it. And on behalf of all the students, all the teachers, we're so pleased with your presence.
Thank you very much, Yahya. Thank you for your questions.
A-SSABILA